So, I suppose the first good question.
They just keep them up there.
You just keep them in your hair?
Whoa. Yeah.
Hi, Penny. Oh.
Okay. So we have lyrics for a song. It only took me a day.
That's good.
Ish.
Could be bad. Don't know yet.
I don't think they're that bad. Everybody wanted a song that was kind of about a journey. Not the band,
You can keep talking.
but the song sounded like going through the desert.
On a horse with no name?
No. It was a journey. What was some of the other things that we mentioned? Just real quick.
Oh, you have them written down in there.
I do. It's right here. Okay. Maybe that's something else. No, that's it. Great. Adventure, journey, discovery.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Thank you. Elation. Uplifting. Beautiful. Finding purpose. So finding purpose is
I think that one kind of sums up a lot of that stuff anyways.
that one and going on a journey.
Yeah.
Right? Oh.
Well, going on a journey to find purpose.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I kind of went with the imagery of going through a desert, and I went with the imagery of being like traveling through a desert to find your purpose.
Why don't you read some of these out?
Okay,
Since I
I'll do
can't.
this. It's the same song on both sides. I'm just getting them in a better order over here.
Better handwriting, too.
Better-ish handwriting. So these are verses. These are kind of the in-between parts. So the lyrics are spinning, pushing a revolving door. I orbit round wanting something more. Unfulfilled by the tasks at hand, I step away onto shifting sand.
I dig it. That definitely is. That's where I'm thinking for sure.
Right.
Like that. You don't know what's going on. You know, you're just the revolving
Well,
door.
you're
that
trying
kind
to
of
do
thing.
something, but like there's effort there, but you're not going anywhere. I just think there's like isolation there too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. Those areas are just big enough for you.
They are like
And you
barely
can see
enough for two people.
all the stuff you want to do,
Yeah,
but you can't do any of it because you're stuck in your little wedge of doom.
it is. The stores are
Fucking-
awful. They seem
it's a
like fire
nightmare.
hazards.
Well, they're awful if you're stuck in them.
That's true.
Um,
Somebody throw a 2x4 in on the other side.
I've seen people, like couples, like girl go through and the guy will go through and just wedge his feet
Yeah,
on
exactly.
both sides, and they're stuck.
They can't move. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've totally
Dick
done
move.
that before.
dick move, not a first date thing you do. Okay, so that's the first verse, and then the in between part is I close my eyes, but I can see the shackled heart. It calls to me. That's the purpose that you're seeking.
Like, what is that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, how do you mean like?
Well, so it's
What
two
does it
things.
describe?
It's a cool image in your head.
Okay.
So
I mean,
I write
it
on that level
does.
sometimes. So superficially, like, you can see that pretty quickly.
Right.
Secondly, like, to me, that's your purpose. That's the thing you're seeking. But it's part of you. But it's not with you.
What if you put something like,
what I mean?
I'm seeking the key for my shackled heart?
That sounds
know
more
what I
like a
mean?
love song, though. I
Well,
think.
okay. But maybe then heart isn't exactly the right.
Maybe not.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
I know,
What does it
yeah.
represent?
It's like your passion. It's your drive. It's your purpose. It's not a like the most linear on the nose metaphor that you could use for that.
Sure. I mean, I don't think it has to be, but
Correct.
I'm just as we're going through this, I'm not sure if that's the exact thing.
Maybe not. So the second verse is radiation. I'll interpret for Penny.
Yeah.
So the second verse, radiation from the sun beats down, but I am grateful they can't stop me now. I hear their voices and I see their forms. Through their illusions, I can be reformed. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, yeah.
So I kind of did some research on journeys in general and stuff, and something that came up a lot was the hero's journey.
Sure. Makes sense.
Um,
Kind of like the original.
yeah, but this isn't like that. Because it's not the same kind of journey. So this would
Right.
be
No, it's not the. I mean,
you're not a hero in this scenario. You could be, but that's not
well,
what I'm going
it's
for.
supposed to apply to everyone, so it doesn't really matter.
Right.
Yeah.
So the point of this journey, in my mind, is finding your thing, doing your thing, and then you become like a master of it, and then you help bring in new people find their own thing.
Sure.
That's not really a hero's journey. That's more like the mentor
Yeah.
journey of the guy that trains the hero or something, right? Because I didn't want to do the hero's journey because everybody does the fucking hero's journey. So I wanted to see what else was out there. And I think that kind of lines up a little bit more with finding your purpose, because most heroes know what their purpose is
Well, it's usually the
up front.
kill a monster.
Somebody tells them what their purpose is. Like some old dude's like, "You're the fucking guy with the sword and the key, and you go to the place
chosen
and
one."
you kill the guy." Yeah, exactly. And this isn't people telling you who you are. This is you trying to figure it out yourself.
Well, I think a lot of people think that purpose in your life means that you have to be some kind of chosen one.
Right.
That you don't necessarily have
The
anything.
Harry Potter where you could just be
The Neville.
the Neville.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like people always just think that they have to do all this stuff, and there's so much pressure to be that. Like I'm the main person, and all the attention is on me.
It's
like people
almost
wanting
a
to be
bad thing.
famous. Yeah, it's not a good thing.
especially like if you're seeking that path out.
Yeah.
Usually, the hero person is like the last person that thinks they're gonna be a hero in the stories,
Get
right?
your dirty
Mm-hmm.
fingers off the line. Come on.
It's hardly ever do you see somebody that's like, I want to be a hero, and then they do it and they don't suck at it. So that's like part of the hero's journey bothered me because it's like there's so much stuff that I don't think is the point. Like trying
Not
to
for
go
our
be a hero,
purposes.
like I don't think you should try to go out and be like an ideal hero. But it's not really about finding purpose, and most of those people don't have to go back and like find their purpose after they've been a hero, because usually some old dude's like, you don't know shit, kid,
Right.
you don't know fucking anything.
Go watch Disney's Hercules. That's what it is.
Kind of.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, very similar. So to me, I came up on an article that was talking about like an alternative to the hero's journey, and it's the journey of becoming re-enchanted with life. So it's like the pattern in that story is when you're young, everything's magical, everything's possible, and then as you grow up, you get like jaded and disenfranchised with magic, and then you don't really believe in it anymore, and then you're not creative anymore, and then you're not like
It's
as human.
imagination. It's
Right.
really what it is.
Exactly.
You lose all of that.
Right, you learn you like conditioned to not believe in it and not follow it, and
Right,
you
instead
put
of like
practical
you put a
things.
bucket on your helmet and all of a sudden you're an astronaut.
Yeah.
But you really think that
right.
when you're 3 or 4 or whatever.
And then things get so practical that you're like, fuck, I'd love to be an astronaut, but now I got to go to school and I got to do all these impossible things.
I'm
and all
bad
this
at
time.
maths.
Yeah, I suck at math, and like, and so that's the mid part, and the other part is learning how to find that magic, but like in a different way, in a way that kind of ties in with being more of an adult, and then being able to. I have to get the dongle. I have it.
You do?
Yeah. I'm ready.
All right. Yeah, I think it's going in a good direction.
Yeah.
I still think even that
Be more melodic,
switching back and forth between those notes, like you don't have to go back to the same note every time. You can kind of switch around and make it like a nice, like a flowy evenness to those, instead of hard jumps. But I like the dropping to like that half step, that minor. That's cool. And then changing the second half is always good.
Right.
I think you could go up to like when you hit into that second part, because you're starting at the you can start up like shifting through, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like just on that second half and make it a little more interesting. So we're talking about emotionality in lyrics and where that can lead.
Right.
Like what's behind a song, how do you come up with those melodies? It's a pain, and it's probably the hardest thing about singing.
Right.
So
there's a huge spectrum of emotion that you can vocalize or express through any instrument. I think rock bands, get stuck in a couple of basic emotions like aggression or trying to be evil, or you know what I mean? You see it everywhere. But as we grow and try to tell different stories or express different concepts, like it's trying to figure out like, okay, how do I sing?
how do you emote finding your purpose?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
that's
or
not
how
an
do I
easy
use
thing.
that to get you that feeling. You're walking away from a bunch of shit that's not working, and you're going to find the thing you want, but you're happy about it. Doesn't matter that you're in the desert. Doesn't matter that shit might be a little fucked up for a while, because you know what you're doing finally, and you're actually doing it.
Yeah. So we're going to try and experiment here. We're going to go through some emotional ranges and see what kind of results we get. And I mean, this is like...
This is just for the sake of trying it out, because I haven't really done this probably ever.
Yeah.
And this is part of doing any kind of art, though. You gotta try it and put yourself out there and suck until something good sticks.
All right, here we go.
So here's the sucking for
Spinning, pushing, now revolving door. I orbit around, wanting something more. Unfulfilled by the task at hand, I step away under shifting sand.
All right, so initially, I think you started similar.
Okay.
And I mean, since we don't have the notes like really solidified and some other things, like, you went really high up in the beginning and whatever.
Right.
And that's fine. We can work on that stuff. But toward the second half of it, like you could tell there's a little bit of a difference. You had a little more like vibrato going on.
Yeah.
And especially at the end where like when your voice kind of trailed off, it felt more of like a defeated trail off instead of like a yeah.
Okay.
It's like a yeah. You know what I mean?
What was it? Good.
It was good. Yeah.
Better.
It was better.
Okay.
All right, why don't we try something else then?
I'm gonna try frustrated and then like ending happy.
Okay.
Because you're frustrated that you're stuck, but then you're escaping.
Spinning, pushing, no revolving door. I orbit round, wanting something more. Unfulfilled by the task at hand, I step away under shifting sand.
What do you think?
I think it felt a little better in parts. It could be a little more focused. Let's try it one more time.
Spinning, pushing, the revolving door. I orbit around, wanting something more. Unfulfilled
That was a weird one.
Yeah, but you know, like you got a little more variety out of that for sure. Like I liked the build for sure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, thanks for watching our video here on the second week of us writing this new song. The struggle is real.
Yes, it is.
Very real. And we're not even through the worst of it yet. But I'm having a good time.
Yeah. And I mean, this is just how it goes too.
Yeah, so if you're doing a creative project of any kind, music or whatever, and you hit snags, or you're self-loathing, or you're having that anxiety, you're like probably at least a quarter of the way in.
Yeah.
And it's part of the process. So don't get discouraged. We're not going to get discouraged.
I'm not.
The song's going to kick ass here in a couple weeks, so stay tuned, and you'll see the rest of it pretty soon.
Check us out on patreon.com/Authmentis for inside videos and early access.
And don't forget to join the Hive Mind. You should do that. Thank you, bye.